Alright everyone, what's going on and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be running through my round 21 tips as well as having a look at how I did back in round 20. So without further ado, let's just get straight into that. Alright, looking back on round 20, I got a total of 6 out of 9 tips correct. So that sort of leads me back into what I normally get. I normally get 5 out of 9 or 6 out of 9. So that's just pretty much an average result for me, 6 out of 9 nowadays. And that leaves me on a total score of 108 points, which I will definitely take. You know, like to be past the hundreds. And yeah, so we're moving on up a little bit, but not too much. Now going through the games. I tipped the Dockers to beat the Demons and got that one incorrect. I was 59 points off the margin because I tipped the Dockers to win by 13 points. I tipped the Pies to beat the Power and got that one correct, thankfully. I tipped the Swans to beat the Giants and got that one right. I tipped the Saints to beat the Hawks, got that one correct. I tipped the Cats to beat the Dogs and got that one right. I tipped the Blues to beat the Crows and got that one incorrect. But, you know, I really thought the Blues were sharp, but their hoodoo at the Adelaide Oval continued as the Crows got the impressive win. I tipped the Suns to beat the Eagles and just got that one correct. Fair play to the Eagles for, you know, really giving a fight in that game. I tipped the Lions to beat the Tigers. Should have got that one correct. I mean, the Lions had a 42-point lead at one stage, but they ended up losing, so I didn't get that one right. And I tipped the Bombers to beat the Roos and got that one correct. So yeah, like I said, that got me to 6 out of 9 tips and a total score of 108. Looking at my own tipping competition, that leaves me in 23rd spot out of 32 people. In top spot, well, we actually have equal leaders. We've got Fiji on 121 points and also Alex on 121 points as well. So we've got shared leaders. I think we had shared leaders a few weeks back, but yeah, at the business end of the season, having shared leaders, it makes things a bit interesting. Fiji got 8 out of 9 last weekend. Alex only getting 6 out of 9. So Fiji just sort of rising up to the occasion a little bit there and getting equal top spots with Alex. And Zipsy is in second spot technically with 120 points, followed by Zombie Slay on 119. And that, well, completes the podiums, and then the list goes on from there. So yeah, that's pretty much how my tipping competition is going at the moment. But without further ado, let's get into my round 21 tips. Alright, first game, we've got the D's taking on the Pies at the MCG in what is set to be a massive clash, a massive Friday night clash. I can't wait to be there. I'll be supporting the boys in this game. As well as that, I'll also be tipping the boys to get the job done. So yeah, I think that makes it 3 weeks in a row that I've tipped us to win now. Mark that down as a record. But yeah, I'm going to be tipping us to win. I just feel like the belief in the boys at the moment is so strong, and that belief is going to carry us over the line. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I just feel like that strong belief that we have at the moment to find results, to get the job done, is going to carry us over the line, and we will be able to beat the D's. Obviously, it's going to be a tougher clash than the Queen's Birthday one because they've got Stephen May in their side this time. And when Stephen May and Jake Lever play together, they're a hard duo to beat. But yeah, I just feel like that belief that we have at the moment, the belief to find results, the belief to get over the line is just so strong, and it's going to carry us over the line in this game, and we will beat the D. So I'm going to tip the Pies in this one, and I'm obviously going to back us in IRL as well. Next up, we've got the Hawks taking on the Suns down in Tassie. And geez, the Hawks are just a different side when they play down in Tassie, and I feel like the Suns are going to struggle a little bit in this game. I mean, the Suns, they didn't look to their 100% best last weekend against the Eagles. They sort of looked a bit lackluster and, you know, lacked a little bit of confidence. Obviously, they ended up finding the result in the end, but yeah, besides finding the result, they just looked a little bit lackluster and a little bit out of touch in that game. And they're coming up against a decent Hawthorn side who play very well in Tassie. So taking that all into factor, I'm going to be tipping the Hawks in this game. I don't know what it is, but just down in Tassie, the Hawks are just a different side and they're hard to beat. And I feel like they're going to, give the Suns a tough game. So yeah, I'm going to be tipping the Hawks in this game to beat the Suns. Next up, we've got the Giants taking on the Bombers at Giants Stadium, and I will be tipping the Bombers in this game. I'm going to be tipping the Bombers for the reason that the Bombers are just looking a lot more confident than the Giants do at the moment. I mean, the Bombers are, beating teams, they're challenging teams, and they're playing some good footy. Compare that to the Giants, and it's just the complete opposite. The Giants aren't playing their best footy, they're lacking confidence, they're not finding the results. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be a tough game for the Giants, and I feel like the Dons will get another win in this little good patch that they're having. So I'm going to be tipping the Bombers to beat the Giants in this game. Next up, we've got the Dogs taking on the Dockers at Marvel Stadium. This is a massive clash for the Western Bulldogs point of view. If they win this game, they really keep in touch with the top 8, and I believe they're going to do so. I believe that the Dogs are going to win this game, so I'm going to tip them to do so. It's at Marvel Stadium, it's a Dogs home game, and when the Dogs need to find a result and they're playing at Marvel Stadium, they tend to do so. They play Marvel Stadium very well, and they need to find a result in this game. So yeah, I believe they're going to do so. It's obviously going to be a tough game because you'd think that the Dockers are going to, come out this weekend and try to find a result, considering how, disappointing they were last weekend. But the Dogs at Marvel Stadium needing a result, it's going to be a tough one for the Dockers. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Dogs to win this game. Next up, we've got the Cats taking on the Saints at GMHBA Stadium. I mean, the Saints, they're another team looking to keep in touch with the top 8, but they're facing the Cats at the Cattery. If it was anywhere else, if it was at the G, it was at Marvel Stadium, I would give the Saints half a sniff, but it's at the Cattery, and like I said last weekend, the Cats rarely lose at the Cattery, so I will be tipping the Cats in this game to get the job done and continue on their merry way. And the next Saturday night game is Port Adelaide versus Richmond. A tough game to tip this one, but I've tipped the Tigers in this game. I just feel like last weekend, that was it for Port Adelaide. That was their last chance, and that loss is sort of going to drain a little bit out of them. Hopefully it doesn't drain too much out of them to the point where they're, not fully competitive in this game. It will be good to see, Port Adelaide be competitive and make this game very entertaining, very interesting. But I just feel like, the Tigers, this is sort of what I said about the Bulldogs, but the Tigers, they're playing for a top 8 spot. They're looking for a result, and when the Tigers are looking for a result and it has a mean behind it, the mean being that, the top 8 will still be intact if they win this game. The Tigers normally find a result when there is a mean behind it, so I'm going to be tipping the Tigers in this game over Port Adelaide. Moving on to the Sunday games, we've got North Melbourne taking on Sydney. Now, I hope North Melbourne, like I've said about a few other teams, I hope North Melbourne can be competitive in this game. I mean, they were competitive in patches last weekend against the Bombers, but they ended up losing that game, unfortunately. But yeah, Sydney, on the other hand, they're playing some terrific footy. I mean, they're battling for a top 4 spot as well. They're just keeping in touch with the top 4. So I'm going to be tipping Sydney in this game. They're just playing some terrific footy. They're looking really good. They're battling for a top 4 spot, and they should get the job done over North Melbourne in this game. Next up, we've got the 3:20 game. It is the Lions taking on the Blues. I'm going to be tipping the Lions in this game, but I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than a few people think. I feel like minus the injuries, the Blues are still going to bring their A game. I feel like it's going to be a tightly contested game of footy. I just feel like at the Gather, at home, the Lions will be a little bit too good for the Blues, so I'm going to be tipping the Lions in this one to get the result over Carlton. And the last game of the weekend, we've got the Eagles taking on the Crows at Optus Stadium. Obviously Josh Kennedy's last game for the Crows, and I just feel like that's going to motivate the Eagles in this one. It's going to motivate the Eagles to a win. So I'm going to be tipping the Eagles in this game to get the job done. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be surprised if the Crows got the job done. They're a good enough team to do so, and they've been a pretty decent team all year. They've been challenging teams, they've been finding results as well, and I mean, last weekend against Carlton they found a pretty massive scalp as well, so that was an impressive win from the Crows in that game. So no doubt they'll take confidence from that game into this game, but I just feel like the Eagles, they have more of a motive to win, and that motive is going to get them over the line. They're going to do it for Josh Kennedy, and they're going to beat the Crows in this game. And that's all my tips done and dusted for this weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Cheers.